Evening tubers, KingGrimlock back once again for another Grimgram, and first off, as ever, a little bit of housekeeping. This will be a continuation of my Countdown to AA review. Seriously, I've done like 18 videos of this, about that now, and I haven't got it right once yet at pace. It's just getting embarrassing. I've only got to get it right once properly before AA, and I'll be happy. I mean, anyone who's watching this knows I'm going to do it on the last one, because I'll keep recording the damn thing until it's done. And on that note, I think we should get on with this quickly. This is Alternators Smokescreen. It's been requested by a big trans fan. Linky. Go and check him out. And this is kind of a special one to me, and that's why I've left it towards the end of the run. I've kind of done my special figures towards the end of this run of Countdown to AA, because this was my first Transformer back in the game. This was me getting back on the horse, getting back on the wagon. This did it. And it's, as I say, Alternators Smokescreen in his rally form. A Subaru Impreza licensed, and also licensed to be the number 8 for the Rally Monte Carlo 2003 edition. Michael Lindstrom's car. This is an official paint job. This is how it was represented. He had various other incarnations with different numbers on, which had different drivers and a few different sponsors and things like that on. Just an amazing achievement. This is the first one. This is the first ever alternator as well, and first vinyl tech. And just, it was such a massive thing for them to do at the time. I mean, you look at it now and you go, oh yeah, it's just a vinyl tech. But at the time, you know, we had Armada at the time, and then you got this. You know, what a kick in the balls. What a wake-up call of what Transformers could actually do. You know, let's give it a quick once-over. Detailing, immense, fantastic, beautiful sculpting. As with all alternators, the panel lines, they try and keep as few as possible. You know, there are a few obvious ones, more on this than the others, to keep it as realistic as possible. Detailing is fantastic. Underside, not too much given up other than the hands. Moving suspension. Yeah, turning thing. And then you got all the official sponsors: Pirelli, Mottl, Kenwood, and they are all official. There are no made up ones like there is on Decepticharge. It's fully official car. I mean, it's quite an impressive feat for Hasbro to actually talk them into letting them do this. Everything opens, the boot, you don't actually get to see too much in there. The hood, bonnet for the English, including its engine, which of course, as we know with all alternators, is probably the weapon. And all 4 doors. Now, this is what really shook me. This is what really surprised me, is the fact that they could do this. The fact that they could open all 4 doors on a car and still get it to transform, and, you know, and the boot and the front, and get it transformed to a coherent robot. Not just coherent, a bloody good robot. And that's kind of what sold me. I mean, detailing on the inside, you might not be able to pick up. You've got door handles and things like that. You've also got dials on the dash. You've got a glove. You've got stereo, even though it shouldn't be a stereo because it's a rally car. You know, the detailing is immense. Absolutely immense, and looks great. It looks great on the shelf in either mode. But as I say, this is the guy that sold me. This is the guy that got me back. I've been looking at Transformers for a while, reading a few of the comics that I borrowed off me mate, and keeping an eye on the toy lines, and you know, looking at the TFC reissue sets and things like that, and thinking, should I, and bidding on the occasional thing on eBay, but never winning anything. And this, then I picked up cheap, and that was kind of the end. I think that must have been 2004. I picked it up, so that must have been pretty much the end for me. This guy is responsible for everything. This guy is responsible for me collecting again, and for you watching these videos. So if you don't enjoy it, blame Hasbro for making Alternator Smokescreen. Yeah. Anyway, so the detailing on it is superb. The colour scheme, the decals are superb. Everything works beautifully. The plastic windows, I mean, this was the benchmark for alternators, and at times, you know what, they didn't surpass it in the line. There were elements of the line that never surpassed this quality, this detail, this effort. You know, all of the sculpted detail is picked out where possible. There is very little. There is that one there, which I'm not sure, you know, they based it on the original car. It's chromed exhaust, you know. You're not supposed to look at the underside, so they've made it as good as possible on the top. Yes, you have the normal alternators problem that the panels just don't want to sit back together. But that's, you know, it kind of goes with. No windows. You know what? I don't care. They're wound down. I'm going to give you a look at this guy in his robot mode, because there is... I could just wax lyrical and reminisce to you about how wonderful he is, and just the exhilaration of finding him cheap and picking him up and thinking, you know what, actually, I can do this. I can collect just alternators. That didn't work, did it? So we have Alternators Smokescreen in his robot mode. I can't get enough of this guy. I just adore him. Absolutely. He looks fantastic to me. He looks as I said, this is what my Transformers were when I was a kid. This is what they were like to me. You know, they were always real to me. That saying that they ran with the Universe line, Universe 2.0. Everything about him is great. He has great articulation. He's hugely poseable. You know, he can do anything you'd want your Transformers to do, short of fly or give them the finger. You know, and even then, some of them can do that. The giving the finger, not the flying part, unless you throw him out of a window. I mean, huge amounts of articulation. I don't mind giving this guy a bit of a beating, because I've had him for so long now. I might have to get another one and put this guy away in storage, because he deserves the respect. You know, a hugely poseable piece. Looks great in poses, looks great being posed. He has his issues, there's no denying it. Parts pop off every now and again just purely because of the way he's designed. He is not the easiest thing to transform on the planet. He's not as bad as some of the others by any stretch of the imagination. He's fairly bulky around the leg area, but you know what? It's not kibble in my eyes. None of this is kibble. It's just building up back. It's built, you know, it fills in parts of the robot. It's what other more recent toys could have actually done with, is the extra little bit of detailing, the extra little bit of added in. In my eyes, there is nothing wrong with this guy. In my eyes, he is the quintessential Transformer. He is what got me back in, so I'm never ever going to be able to go, oh, there is this, that and the other wrong with him, because to me there is nothing wrong with him. I wouldn't have started collecting again if I thought he was poor, you know. It's that simple. The detailing on him is superb. Again, with all alternators, you have all this detailing, this sculpted detail in areas that are only exposed in the robot mode, and even then are barely exposed in the robot mode. There are so many areas that, you know, just don't get, that are only exposed if you really go looking for them. You know, the sculpted detail under the hood, under the underside of the windscreen. I'm trying to think of some other places on the underside, you know. It's speakers, you know. It's as if they are expecting you to go and have a look over every single part of this toy and find fault with it. And I don't know if that was the mentality of the fandom back in the early 2000s. Maybe it was, and maybe Hasbro wanted to give a one big FU to the fans. But they can do that with this. Anyone who ever said Transformers couldn't be detailed, realistic cars and decent robots was wrong in my eyes. These, while they don't appeal to everybody, people have to appreciate what they were able to achieve. Cost-wise nowadays, especially in the secondary market, some of them just aren't worth the money. A lot of them just aren't worth the money. This guy would always say, go and find one, pick one up. Especially this guy, because he's got so much character in his decals and stuff, whereas other versions of the mould like Silverstreak and Alert and Ricochet don't really have that character to them. The head sculpt is so very, very, very Smokescreen. But, you know, the whole character, it evokes the Smokescreen character. As I say, they were always real to me, and this guy epitomises that.